go get the steps.
Welcome to Sitka.
Look what I found! So excited!
Hi, I'm Matthew.
And I'm Susan. Together we love to travel.
One of our favorite places to be
Is aboard a Norwegian ship at sea.
good food, drinks, and friends.
Make a relaxing trip indeed.
So come along with us.
As we let the sea set us free. Made it on the bus.
Just so you guys know, this is my first day driving, so let me know if I hit anything, okay?
Made it on the bus, and our first stop is going to be the Raptor Center.
I like to mess with them right at first. So you guys will actually back, and then start our family. We're here at girls for school week of ice. This last winter we had about 4 months of ice. It's not fun. Especially when you drive school bus and the driver begins. Besides the activity has been about 8 to 9 years, a little over until the last year and a half when it's areas around here. We have people that bring their boats up from down south, so California, anywhere else, even here in the off-season. So if you guys go in there, there's a visitor center. Got about a 12-minute video you can watch with a ton of history. And it goes
Welcome to the Alaska Raptor Center.
Too intense for me personally, because sometimes if the female decides that maybe the male just wasn't good enough.
We are in the Welcome Center here. We're going to be going through the Flight Center here very
Right over
soon.
there.
Is there a way to get, I guess if you get closer, no, you gotta get further.
Eyes used for hunting, a hooked curved beak, and strong, powerful talons. Around 85% of the injuries we see are related to humans, such as collisions with man-made objects, ingesting
Birds that won't make it through rehabilitation and end up staying here permanently with us here at the center, which you will get to meet one of those special residents later on today. But for those who do make it, we get a little emotional after spending so much time working to rehabilitate them and release them into the wild. When this happens, we gather all of our staff and employees, all of our volunteers, and we take them up to our twin sister mountains, which is just a little pathway. I shouldn't say it. It sounds like we go hiking. But we go up our trail and we release them back there. We have around 31 volunteers that donate over 800 hours of their time to this center every year, which is just beyond believable for me. They help us do dirty work like cleaning out eagle enclosures. Do I have any takers on that one? I didn't think so. Okay. But without their help, this would pretty much be impossible, so we're very thankful for them. They help us with our, of course, permanent residents, which you guys will get to meet one just here in a few seconds. But before that happens, I have a few special requests from you guys. So when the bird comes out, we're all going to stay seated, just so no one spooks or startles the bird, which means if someone's in the way of that perfect shot with your camera, just go ahead and hold your phone up above your head, just so that standing won't scare the bird, of course. Also, make sure those ringers are off once again. Flash is okay in here. But other than that, oh, and when the bird goes to leave, please do not applause. Applause after they leave. But anyways, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you guys Diana and Spirit, and I'll let you guess who's who.
coming to the Raptor Center today. My name is Diana, and more importantly, this is our bald eagle named Spirit. It says hello. So Spirit has been with us since 2016, and we knew that she was actually only a few months old when she came in. She was full grown, but she looked a lot different. She didn't have the classic white head and tail that you see here today. It takes 5 years to actually get this adult plumage. But when she came in, she was this really dark chocolate brown color all over. Even her eyes and her beak were almost black in color. They were really dark. And so all of those features, they gradually changed during the first 5 years of a bald eagle's life. Spirit is 7 years old today. But when she did come in, she had a few injuries. She was found on the side of the road in Juneau. And we don't know exactly what happened. We are thinking she probably was struck by a vehicle because of the injuries that she had. To start, she was really, really skinny. She was starving. And the side of a road is a great place to maybe find some easy prey like roadkill.
To feed him. So when he was given to us by that family, we took a look at him and said, this is a great looking red-tailed hawk. We're going to release it right back out. A couple days later, we got a call from our friends over at the police department.
Yes, they literally then yelling at them
Wasn't that cool? It's so awesome to come to the Alaska Raptor Center. If you're ever in Sitka, please make sure you get a tour that stops here.
Did you guys get to see the red-tailed hawk in there? Her name's Kylie. Yeah. Did they tell you about her little rap sheet she has? She's my second favorite one in there. The reason being is that I don't have to be a hawk, right? And she could do all that totally fine in the Raptor Center. She did it just fine on her own. They put her in the release program, released her. The very second they released her, she went and dive bombed the tourists and sold her hot dogs again. Now, I have to be honest, if I was a hawk, I might like dive bomb the crab shack, I might dive bomb the salmon, I mean something, but hot dogs? So I'm thinking maybe they fed her hot dogs, because that's all she wanted, that's the only place she bothered. So, of course, they got scared. She got called. Police called on her again, so now she is not only, she has a record, but she has a rap sheet. And so I think she's awesome. So she's a permanent resident because she cannot be trusted to be out on her own. Over here on our left we have the Sheldon Jackson Museum, so after our tour, if that's something you guys wanted to do. Sheldon Jackson actually himself collected about 80% of the artifacts in there. If he hadn't collected them himself, they were donated to him, and he brought them into the facility there. It's phenomenal. Here's here. So this here is actually the national park. I was talking to you guys about it before. We had 2 battles here in Sitka, and one of the battles was right out here, out front. That's the Battle of 1804. It's the second battle, and it was between the Russian-American Company and the Clinkets. So if you guys do make it down here, there's a lot of history in there, and the 12-minute video down there would go over a lot of that with you. And then here are the totem poles. They have 18 totem poles in there, and this is where the carver would be. Now, there are different totem poles with different clans in here. So some of the tour guides cannot explain all of the totem poles to you because if they're of native of descent and they're of a different clan, they can only explain to you the totem poles from their clan. So that's why they have the information center down in there with the guides. So Clint, the other driver, he's from one of the clans here, and he can describe that totem pole right there down on the lower level, but the three up top, he does not have permission from the leaders, top leaders of the other clan to tell you about those totem poles. So you're not allowed to have permission from them. On the right hand side, and as I go up here and before I turn back up the hill, I'm going to point out straight down to the light down there. That is downtown. That light from there, everything this direction is historical, everything to the left, well, more straight from here, is food, shopping. Then you have the Russian Orthodox Church. As we turn this corner, you should be able to see the steeples there. And if you see the post over there for the bridge, that's the O'Connell Bridge. Right on the other side of that, that's Castle Hill. So Castle Hill. Okay, I wanted to make sure you guys can hear. So Castle Hill is actually where they did the signing and the transition while Alaska was purchased. So there's a lot of history up there. There's a rampway to walk up. It's a little easier than there's a set of stairs, but it's at the very end of downtown. It was built in Rockport, Massachusetts, but with that gazebo, that was the end of one of the scenes where Sandra Bullock was driving up along Silver Bay right here. It was the part of the movie where she was driving to the airport. So she drove along this road right here, and the scene ended right there at that gazebo. All right. We had the gray whales, which it was a gray whale yesterday that we saw. They're starting to follow in. The king salmon is in this back corner when you turn around and go back further into the bay there. We have Metabeechi Hatchery. Kings run up in there, so the grays have been following them up. About 3.5 weeks ago, I had gray whales in here, and one of them was scrubbing. So they'll get right on the shoreline, right on the beach, and they'll scrub their undercarriage on the rocks over there. So as we're turning that mountain off to the right there, that's Sugarloaf Mountain, and they were scrubbing right on the shoreline over there. Yesterday, when it drove the second time, it was actually headed that direction, but we never saw it again. It was bad.
Welcome to Fortress of the Bears.
Admissions or anything you buy in our wonderful gift shop downstairs, all of that goes straight back to the Bears. So we want to give you guys a very big thank you for coming and visiting our Bears and supporting our cause. If anybody has any additional questions, again, my name's Jillian. I'm up on this top deck. We also have a bunch of other people running around with Fortress of the Bear uniforms and can answer your questions as well. So thank you guys so much for coming and visiting us, and have a wonderful rest.
They're nice. Look at them. Hi.
If it all goes well, then we can bring younger girls and 5-year-olds. Hi,
It also depends on the permits you get. This first now like 500. We don't know but if we do get maybe. Nikiski was also sleepy today. She likes to run after the girls, trying to assert her dominance. You see, Nuka wants to play with Toby. We don't know if Toby actually knows how to play. We're gonna have the girls teach her. But Toby likes to run after the girls to kind of assert her dominance, but because they're so much bigger. But they've been doing really well, so not as much running. They've been kind of sleeping around each other, playing, eating, and that's the goal. We want them to be comfortable enough to do what they would regularly do. So they're doing pretty well.
How long do they usually live?
In the wild, they will live mid to late 20s. In human care, it's 30 plus. So the oldest brown bear in human care on record was 47, and the oldest black bear was 42. There's a hole in the wall. They have one in there too. That's their indoor den. So we can lure them in there. They know their names. They kind of know the routine. So like every morning they're around there. We put food in there for them. And there are little things right down there. That's a couple of gates.
Oh, somebody's got an itch.
Up, spread food around.
Oh, yep. Oh, that's the spot. Yep, that's the spot.
Usually not. Sometimes when we so half of their diet is in there. That'll keep you on the line. There comes your sister. These were the water purification plants for the old Pope.
It's like, darn, I have to go get it.
Hey, Kissy, you gotta go get it. You'll be occupied with hers. What was the question? The science center?
How many of those little claws?
They have 5.
Spine? Just like we do.
Yep. Right there. You gotta go get it. I'm not gonna go throw another one for you. No, all gone. Go get it.
Sounds like your kids, Susan.
I know, right? I'm not going to do it for you.
All of our
There's one up on the hillside too.
walk back down and get clam chowder, you're welcome to do so. It's usually until about 2 o'clock they have it going.
Welcome to the Sitka National Historical Park.
Just looks like the walking stick.
It's black and gray. Yes. That's a small one. That's what we got. That's very good. Yeah. Last year, the calendar is so good. Down to your right. Over there? No, we go here. Oh.
The way they used to do it. And then they did the dock at the end and the private dock. Let's see. So the herring were all out here too. And $700 a ticket. Just getting herring. 15 herring a bag, $5 a bag. We made $700. I'm like,
So we went through the visitor center here at the Sitka National Historical Park. If you're here in Sitka and you get a chance, make sure you stop by. There are plenty of trails to walk. We just didn't have time to do it today.
The gift shop at the Science Center. And then there is a salmon chowder. As long as she's down there, there's a salmon chowder cart. And it runs right along Crescent Harbor in case you guys go for a walk, turn around and need to ask for directions. One thing people have asked me about, oddly enough, is a grocery store.
Now that we are done with our tour, we are going to go find some lunch because we are really hungry. Breakfast is done, long gone, and walk around town.
Did you have a fun time?
It was excellent. If you're ever here, make sure you check out one of the tours where it at least takes you to the Raptor Center and Fortress of the Bear.
But Sitka Tours, who we went through, were excellent.
They were excellent.